Welcome to the Rage Pod. I am here with the Tara Erickson.
I'm here with Ebar, and we're both here with
the friendiest of Wendy's. Hey. So today, what are we talking? We're talking about caregiving in America.
America. Yep. With your sister, dude.
With my sister. Big reveal.
Yeah, I know.
Big reveal.
Should I have hidden that? I should have hidden that, kept it in my back pocket. But like, she's a badass, and so we're gonna talk about that with her later.
And she is she's an associate chair, an associate professor. Wait, what does it say?
Erin Kent, who is an associate professor and associate chair of research in health policy and management at the UNC-Chapel Hill Gillings School of Global Public Health.
Jesus Christ.
That's too much.
Erin.
Like, come on, cut it down.
I knew it was health management. I know she works in caregiving, but like, I can't be expected to know that many words.
No,
like,
I was a little asleep in the middle of that sentence.
I was too. I think she actually falls asleep to it.
She probably
doesn't
does.
Like it. She didn't ask for that much.
She didn't ask for it.
No.
We should get into okay, so before we get into that, we're going to talk about what happened to us this week. Like, what's going on? What are we feeling?
Okay, well, this isn't necessarily like a this week, but I just want to say, it's not cool to say 6'7" anymore.
What?
But what I'm mad about is, still to this day, no one can say what the fuck it means. Use it in a sentence, 9 out of 10 people will use it wrong.
6'7"?
Yeah, 6'7". You don't know what 6'7" is?
No.
Oh my God, that makes me happy, actually.
Well, and now you don't need to because it's already passed.
You don't need to. Yeah, no, because if you
thing.
used it now, you scream, I'm old. You scream, actually, I'm a gunk. Right? Isn't that what the phrase is?
I don't even know what that is.
I'm sorry. You scream, I'm an unk.
Unk. Yes.
You scream,
unk.
I'm an unk.
I'm so lost.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's okay.
I know. It's really scary.
Do we just go 6, 8, 9, 10?
Makes more sense. Makes more sense. No, it's like a non-thing, but you're just supposed to know what it means.
I don't like any of this. Why do they do this to us?
It's middle school kids, so of course it's not.
God.
But it's all over the talk. But not anymore. Don't you dare try to integrate it because I'm warning you as a friend.
So it's 6'7", supposed to be like dope, rad, sick.
I don't know that we can say that. I think it's supposed to just, it's like sort of this like ethereal thing that's supposed to also be like super cool.
That they're wandering around and saying, hey, you look 6'7" today.
I don't think that's the context.
See, that was not used in a sentence correctly. See, I think it's just like 6'7". It's just a battle cry. It's just like a response.
Who can blame these kids? They're growing up in tragic times.
Oh my God. The fact that they can even get through a day, I'm like, hallelujah.
Yeah, give them 6'7".
Congratulations.
Give it to them.
6'7". But
let them have it.
But we don't want to do it. We don't want to do it because now we're an unk.
Well, I'm not going to do it. Somebody comes up to me, yells 6'7", I'll slap them right in the face. Say, what the fuck are you doing? Come up with the word, buddy. What, 6'7"? Or do we have to keep counting? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? What's the point here?
Oh, God, that would be so embarrassing for you. And I don't think for Gen Z or Gen Alpha that a violent response to 6'7" is going to go over very well.
That's what I'd give them.
Yeah.
That's what I'd give them.
Back in the days of the millennials, we just slapped you across the face.
Oh, man.
That was a high five.
Yep.
Punch in the stomach. High five.
It's true. Good times.
What about you? What's gotten you raging?
Oh, I'll tell you right now. This shirt, what I think is cool.
I like this shirt.
Now, this shirt
it's bright
is
in a great way.
Came with the peach, okay? Where the pink was white.
You dyed it.
Dyed it. Look at her go, right?
You dyed it.
We're thinking, this looks like a shirt. Where do I get it? You come to my house and I dye it.
You got to know her.
You've got to know me. You've got to get into the rye dye in the old laundry. Okay?
What's the rye part?
Well, that's the brand.
It's not RIT anymore? We don't do RIT anymore? I thought it was
No, RIT.
Oh my God. I thought you were onto something of like, there's actual rye
Ebar?
in the dye. It's RIT?
It might be, early onset dementia. Who knows? It's RIT. You are correctamundo. And I love it. I have an obsession with buying dyes for my fabrics.
But you're good at it. Like, I've never seen a streak on anything that you've dyed. Like, you're really good at doing it.
You just throw it in the wash.
feel like it can go south if you don't do it right. No, like where it gets like splotchy, like where it's not the right color.
Maybe I'm good at it.
I don't know. You're good at it.
I don't know.
She's got a skill. She doesn't. She can't. She doesn't know 6'7", but man, can she fucking die?
But can I die some shit? You're welcome. Slap you right across the face of 6'7". Jesus fucking Christ.
Wait, you know how you said that you have got early onset dementia? That was like one other thing. I am so scatterbrained and forgetful these days, and it drives me fucking crazy. And I'm like, is it like one of those, like maybe it's Maybelline, maybe it's menopause?
Right.
Or is it like people will say to me, well, man, like you've got twins and you've got, you're running an agency and you're doing a podcast.
You do have a lot.
But I don't know what that means. Like,
I know.
I really want to know when people say that. Like, what do you mean? Like, is it that I'm stretched so thin that I've got anxiety because I can't like manage it all? Like what? I really want to know when people say that. Or is it like leftover hormonal changes from birthing them? What do you think?
I think it's all of the above. And I think when someone says that to you, they're just giving you some grace.
Oh, no, I know that. I love that. I'm very appreciative of that. But now I'm like, I want to know more.
Well, I'm not giving you grace on it.
No, she hates it all.
But I do think it's all of the above. I do think it's perimenopause. I do think it's lack of sleep. You've got 2 children that you're tending to. You're building a business. We're doing a podcast. Like there's so much. Of course you're going to be scattered.
Okay. See, I need all of the context, or I don't know what it means.
You're spread too thin and you don't give yourself enough self-care time, I think, to legitimately feel like, now I have to go into this thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like there's no way around it because you're running a business and you have twins. I think when your cortisol is so high for us, then when you come into the crash, that's also, the fatigue, the apathy, the like when you just feel down and over it. And you don't feel like yourself.
Yeah.
It's sort of like I used to tell you when you worked for the Oscars, I was like, I don't know who that bitch is, but I'll see you on the other side.
It's not good.
It wasn't good.
It was not good.
And I've seen you sometimes like that in your life, recently. And I just know that you have a lot going on.
Yeah. It kind of a little bit reminded me of when people would say like, oh yeah, like that's because you're grieving. When I lost my dad, but I didn't understand entirely what that meant. Like, do I know what grief is? Yes. Did I know that I like felt sorry? But I was like, what, like, is there a timetable? Like, I guess I just wanted more specificity behind that because I didn't know. It just felt like a generic statement.
Yeah. I think I got that too. I think I didn't. Well, honestly, I think Prozac saved my life, but if you look at the pictures of like from when my mom died up until I started taking Prozac, I used to wear just black, endless black every day, all day. The only colorful clothes I had in my closet were for auditions. But before that, if you knew me in college, like there's pictures that friends will send me and they'll be like, oh, miss you. And it'll be me in like hot pink in the corner of just like crazy colorful clothing. And so I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that was a grieving period mixed with maybe it's still happening, but Prozac helps a little.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
it's still hard out there, but
yeah. I love that people were missing your Pantones.
Totally.
Call back. Anyway.
So before we get into our interview with good old Erin Kent about caregiving in America, we're going to pop over to the Rage Hotline. Friendy Wendy coming at you.
You've reached the Rage Hotline. Please leave us a message.
So this is from a friend of the pod, New York Times best-selling author Stephen Rowley, who had some thoughts on caregiving.
My God,
okay.
We are rolling with some big dogs.
This is a country in which we choose the hardest way to do everything. If there's a bad decision to be made, we've made it. Whether it comes to taxes, work-life balance, childcare, health care. What do you mean my health insurance is tied to my job and teeth and eyeballs are optional add-ons? That makes no sense. But it's maybe the worst when it comes to elder care in this country, and it's driving me mad. I'm dealing with an aging parent who is too sick for assisted living, but not sick enough for hospice care. So we're stuck trying to navigate a world of home health care and live-in assistance, and between government programs and insurance and family squabbles. It's driving me insane. There has to be a better way.
Totally get it.
Yeah, sounds like
Totally
hell.
get it. And yeah, I mean, nailed it. Nailed
Right.
it. I mean, this like actually connects to stuff that we've talked about recently. How are you supposed to do all of these things in a day? How are you supposed to have a job? And then if you've got kids, take care of kids, or if you've got, anybody else that's in your life that, you're helping out, and then also take care of your parents while the fucking world's on fire. And then you have to deal with all of this like bureaucratic bullshit. Like, how is there's not even enough, forget about like the mental and emotional space. There's not enough real estate in a day to deal with all of that. And then you factor in how your emotional and mental response to that affects you. Like,
Fucks you
go
up.
fuck off. Let's all go to Denmark. You know what I mean? I'll learn how to bike. I don't care.
Yeah. And I would do it. I would do it. And there's one time I rented a bike in Santa Monica and I was like, I'm terrified. I'm
But
gonna
you do it.
These cars are gonna, but I did it. These cars are gonna run my ass right over. But I totally agree with you. I love that he said, that our health insurance is tied to our job, and like eyeballs and teeth are optional, and yet like teeth are tied and plaque to like literally
dementia.
Everything,
Yeah.
like heart disease, like
Totally.
everything is tied up in that. And I just think for the billionaires out there that it's like America, for some odd ass reason, I get the capitalism, money matters. It's like, come to America and you could maybe become rich. And I feel like the people who vote to be like, give the billionaires whatever they want, and they don't have to pay taxes to help out the rest of the country, is because everyone's thinking on this dream that when we come to America, maybe we don't want that because I could be rich one day, and then I don't want to have to pay the taxes. Like sometimes I think that, and
like
I think
you'd be a Bezos.
that you would, and I'm like, that's what I think people are thinking. That they're literally thinking like, I don't know, they might not be wrong, because in the American dream, the capitalism is like, but one day I could start this business, then I'm freaking loaded. And if I get across this pay amount, then like now I have to pay a bunch of more taxes. And I'm like, yeah, because you're a fucking billionaire and you don't need a fucking yacht. And people are dying.
Or 7.
Because they don't have enough food, or there's like a homeless shelter. I'm like, that's insane to me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's relativity, right? Like, sure, like we want to promote people striving to be the best that they can be.
Yeah.
But at some point, then it doesn't become a democracy, because it's like 5 people own everything, which affects everything, including healthcare, including elder care.
Right.
So
that's why it's a little bit fucked. Like what he was saying, I'm like, yeah, I totally agree. I don't even know how he's like, it's so hard.
Yeah. And meanwhile, regular people are like, do I really need that nurse? I'm 83, but like, I don't want to suck all the money out of like the savings that I have. And like, yeah, you've got like stage 4 cancer, dude.
Yeah,
like,
you need
the nurse. But like the fact that we have to commodify ourselves and the ones that we love and the healthcare, it's just absolutely, it's so sad. It's so criminal. And yeah, I just like, when is it going to be enough? When is there going to be a change?
I agree. And I think that's why we're talking to Erin Kent on here. Let's throw it to her, because the reason we brought her on here is because caregiving in America is absolutely fucked. And, she studies it, and we're happy to have her. So let's get to it.
So you study caregiving. I don't think, as much as it seems obvious, I don't think a lot of people know really what that is. Even sometimes people that are doing it.
Myself and my colleagues, we are interested in the impact of serious illness. So something like cancer or dementia, or anything that renders someone, really not totally capable of being able to take care of themselves. we're interested in finding out what the impact of that experience is on the people around that patient, right? And
The
so that's
ripple effect.
the ripple effect. So how can we understand what it's like for them? But then how can we design programs to help support them better? How can we give them breaks, what we call respite? How can we find ways to more systematically give them respite? How do we help the healthcare delivery systems recognize them more easily and integrate them into the work that they're doing and kind of recognize the importance that they play? And the important roles that they play for helping patients recover from serious illness. So that's kind of things that we're trying to do. We're also trying to do research that informs better policies. So helping put into policies in place across the country and also at the various state levels, things like allowing caregivers more time off from work, more paid time off from work, helping them get tax credits for the work that they're putting in as caregivers, helping them be recognized by healthcare systems more systematically, like in the medical record. Those kinds of policies that could be in place, and some of them are becoming more and more in place. But that's the kind of research that we're trying to do.
Okay, that sounds just like making a movie.
Totally like making a movie.
Like I just want you to know, I created a short called Two Girls, One Cop. So this is
So,
exactly the same. Like we are doing the
sure.
exact same important life-changing work. You were saying that like, oh, the system assumes that that people will keep on caring, right? That people will keep on being compassionate. So it's kind of like just to put it in kind of crude terms, right? It's like, well, why should we pay for that if people are just going to care on their own, right? That's kind of like the base.
Right. Right. And I think when confronted, people generally it's very politically popular and there's bipartisan or multi-partisan support for the idea of supporting caregivers. It's when we get down into the finer points where the rubber meets the road, where it becomes like, wait, how are actually we going to find money to help, for example, pay for the leave of, this astronomical number of people who might need to be out of the workforce to care for a family member who's ailing. From a policy perspective, at best, we're looking for small wins, incremental gains. And we're starting to see them. I mean, it's, you have to like really pan out and you have to be incredibly perseverant and patient to see them. But we have 13, 14 states now have some degree of paid family and medical leave. It's not nearly as long as I think most of us think that it should be, but it's more than we had 40 years ago, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago.
The thing that you had mentioned the PBS documentary called Caregiving, which I watched and it was fantastic. And within the first 2 minutes, I was already filled with rage. And the one thing that became so obvious to me as a society, we should care for our people. Like that should just be what is done. And I do think that the government support should come into play with that. Nobody should be in need of any sort of care. And it makes me so sad and it makes me so filled with rage to see the way that we treat people in this country. My mother's in assisted living, she has dementia. And I just wonder what do the people do that don't have anybody? How are they navigating these systems? And it's just so upsetting where, as a human being, why aren't we caring for our other fellow human beings? And that makes me the saddest about all of this.
It is very sad. It can be really crippling to see these stories play out, and they're playing out in every single family. You might have run across this in the documentary, and it's really well known in the caregiving circles, but there's this famous quote from former First Lady Rosalind Carter that there are four kinds of people in the world, right?
Yes,
People who have been caregivers, people who are currently caregiving, people who will be caregivers, and people who will need caregivers. And almost all of us will walk in that role. We will be in that role at some point in our lives, and probably multiple roles, right? So it's completely ubiquitous. And when people are experiencing it, it's life-changing, right?
It's so rage inducing just because you see the way other countries care for their citizens, whether they're elderly or whether they've suffered a horrible accident or have come down with a horrible terminal disease.
Or had
Yes.
children.
I just, it's what, why did we get it? How did we get it so wrong? Like, it's like, come on, America, how did you fuck this up so bad? You don't care about your citizens. Well, we kind of know that, but it just
Well,
feels like more of a gut punch as you try and navigate this system. The one thing that really made me rageful in this documentary, and it's really great, it's called Caregiving on PBS.org, was the woman who had to put her dad in hospice. And then when he didn't die in the amount of
Yeah.
time that they thought he was going to die, they're like, bro, you got to go. And the daughter's like, wait, what? It's so maddening. I had an experience with my mother. She was getting hip replacement surgery, and we needed her to go to rehab soon after the surgery. And then she was going to go convalesce at my brother's house. And then I was coming to stay with her for like another 2 weeks, and they wouldn't send a home healthcare aide to her because she had somebody else in the house with her. And I said, well, the person that's in the house with her is her partner who has Alzheimer's. So he is not going to be able to offer any care. She was caring for him. And they were giving me such a horrible runaround that I was standing in the airport ready to fly home. And I had the woman in the insurance. And I finally just said, what would you do? Tell me what you would do. What am I going to do with my mother when she gets out of the hospital? She's 86 years old with her hip replacement. What do I do? And she said, give me a minute. We'll appeal it. I'll get back to you. And they did. But I think it was because I had to plead from on this compassionate human level because it's just, it's so
that
disheartening.
shouldn't be an appeal,
Right.
right? Like I think one of the things that often caregivers find out they have to be is incredibly squeaky, right? Like you have to be so squeaky, and each time it's like a personal triumph, and the system should not be built on that. Like it shouldn't be built on exceptions. There should just be much more wraparound comprehensive supports for people.
There is, the element of siblings having to figure this out together. And I think it's interesting right now because we have the two of you here who are siblings who both share the responsibility of caring for your elderly mother. So we'd love to hear more about that dynamic. And I can say, as an outsider, seeing you guys navigate it, you've done a really great job. And I know some people aren't as fortunate or they're an only child. How do you guys manage those challenges?
I make Erin do everything.
So not true. We are at the point in our lives where our mom is living independently. She's in a continuing care retirement community. Things will change as they do for all of us, right? And we'll have to navigate that. And I tell you that as much as I sort of know about all of this and then what's to come, and I tell Erica sometimes, I'm like, I feel like Chicken Little because I see all these stories play out. And even the people that I know that are most prepared and most organized get hit with some unexpected nonsense, and then dealing with, trying to set up a system to help care for someone who needs care 24 hours a day. That's a lot. That's really hard.
I was watching a couple of your videos, reading some articles. And so I was learning about the RAISE, where it's like recognize, assist, include, support, engage. And the federal government gets on that RAISE thing. Except nobody's ever fucking really heard of it, right? I watch a video about you. I read an article about you. You study caregiving. Nobody is like thinking like, oh, great, there's resources like you talked about, like caregiving portal, but that's in North Carolina. That's not in every state. And even though this exists, it's sort of enraging because I'm like, even if it does, even when I was reading it, I'll tell you right now, it was like, we're going to assess things. We'll look at things. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, it's a good thing, but also it's not like, hey, sign up here, prove to us like what the fuck's going on, and we're legitimately gonna fucking help you move through this because you're gonna need money, you're gonna need a nurse, you're gonna need education if you need to change a fucking catheter like I did on my mom. I was like, the nurse is not here, and if this balloon thing, I mean, she'll die. right? So we have to figure it out. And those kind of complications, I think that the raise thing, when I was listening to you talk about it, I was like, oh, that's great. But like, do you feel like it's done anything? Or how are you feeling about what's the thing that has really helped or I guess not helped?
Erin, do you feel like your work is doing absolutely anything at all? Is what she wants to ask you.
I
It's
mean,
not, it's not that.
depends
It's
on,
the raise.
I
yeah, no.
know.
Sarah, I love everything that you're saying, and I want to just bottle it up because I feel like you have been a caregiver, right, to your mom, and you're encountering this stuff preparing for today's episode, and it's like kind of enraging you because it's like, wait a minute, this is insane that like we are asking everyday people to do all of these things. Like this is literally the assumption. It's hard because people are sort of suffering quietly and they kind of get through it and they sort of assume that like this is just people's lot in life. But like, yeah, I mean, I think it should be, I think the awareness piece to me is probably the most important part. Like I want to see high schools, maybe even younger, like kids to be understanding just a little bit about caregiving. Like the idea, like most of you someday will need to help take care of someone else. Let's talk about what that means and what that could mean and where you might find support and resources. The thing that keeps me going is that I at least feel like the mission is good. Like this is a good mission to be part of, even if it's not making widespread change.
I want to ask you one more question because I know you studied, the differences and disparities in like the LGBTQ community and lower income in regards to caregiving. And did you see anything that was really like, I guess, enraging that there was like a huge gap between let's say it's just heterosexual cisgendered people versus like LGBTQ
Yeah.
caregivers? What did you experience with that?
There's some data to suggest that LGBTQ individuals are more likely to be caregivers in their own lives than, hetero cisgender folks. So that's one. And two, they're more likely to face financial hardship. So you hit that nail on the head. And three, they're often caring for people that are not blood relatives or not even partners. They're often caring for people that might be part of their chosen family, might be caring for ex-partners. There's a sense of solidarity there. But we also have like, it's this isn't like big data. These are smaller studies that show that sometimes they may be caring for people that they don't necessarily have a great relationship with. So they may be caring for someone who they have a really complicated relationship with that might be not recognizing their gender identity, that maybe not recognizing their partners well. And there's a lot of stress, stigma, strife with all of that. So yeah, there's all kinds of issues, and recent political decisions have also exacerbated that in a major way. We also need, this is another thing, we need to be paying the people that provide that respite, the direct care workforce, a lot more livable wages.
Absolutely.
Like that is 100% livable wage. I mean, this is the most sacred work you can imagine, right? You saw some of that in that documentary, right? Where the like we're talking about what we call activities of daily living, like the basics, like bathing, dressing, feeding. That is the most sacred work there is, right? And when you're doing it for someone and you're getting paid minimum wage, there's something not right about that at all.
On the topic of like what frustrates you, you ever have moments, let's be honest, where you're like, why am I doing this?
All the time, every day. Yes. But I don't have any other skills. That's the problem. I'm not as exciting and funny as you guys all are, and
Wait, this
creative.
is not true. You fucking have other skills. She made her own jam and bottled it up and gave it
Make
away as
jam.
gifts at her wedding.
Bad wife.
She is a trad wife. You are a trad wife. Why did you bother with a PhD when you could just be gardening and making jam all day?
You know, right.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it.
I'm definitely doing it wrong.
Well,
You know
yeah.
what? If I could do something else, honestly, you know what I think I do have the skills to do, but I don't think anyone would pay me for this. I would just do crosswords all day. Like I would be a professional crossworder.
That's how I know you guys are fucking sisters.
I know. Every time I sit down to do a crossword, unless it's the People magazine one, I'm like, I'm so stupid. Like the only one I can get is the People magazine
It's
one.
always Oleo. It's always
Always Oleo. There's OLIO and OLEO. We gotta know those.
Aaron, maybe like the New York Times, like maybe they test their puzzles out on people, and maybe that's something that you could do.
So like everything you learn, like there's like I'm like so basic in my skill level. I'm not good enough to like be one of those. There is actually though an annual crossword tournament in upstate New York that we all got to go to. You guys should have a Rage Pod episode.
Girl, are you just ask me to go to a fucking crossword?
Sounds like a rager.
Wow. I mean, listen, Erin, I'm just going to go because you asked. But at first I was like, she is joking. No, she's not.
No, I'm not joking at all. This is serious face.
Look,
I want to know what the bar scene is at the hotel of that conference.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. They're ordering the drinks that are like the common answers on crossword puzzle. Like
No, they have a signature drink. They'll have a signature drink for the event.
It's called Will
Five across.
Or what's Will
Five across.
Five across.
That's amazing. Panagram.
Or it's like a Shorts seltzer because Will Shorts is like one of the most famous crosswords.
If we were at the bar and I needed to get rid of a guy, I'd just put him off on you, Erin, and be like, she examines patterns between cancer survivorship and caregiving. Talk to her and then just leave. They probably wouldn't talk to you about it, but like it feels very important what you do. And I wish more people talk to you about it.
You know what I learned today? Very important. We are not using the word respite nearly enough.
There's a lot of really beautiful moments in caregiving and so much, I think, to gain from it. And I definitely always want to come back to that and don't want to lose sight of it. I mean, it's really, really beautiful to see the things that people can and will do in the care of another person. And I don't just mean like people who are in love, although that is an incredibly wonderful thing to see, like, you know, older couples caring for one another, or adult children caring for their aging parents. I mean, that is really beautiful. But even the acts of people who are doing things, maybe the person, maybe they don't even have a super close relationship or they have a complicated, but they're doing it because it's the right thing. And there's a lot of growth, I think, that can happen. So I think, and there's a lot of moments in that documentary that show that, I think. And I just always like to think about that.
And I think it's important to hear that because I think now more than ever, like that is one of the hardest things. Like I know for me to wrap my head around when we see these really inhumane things happening to people.
Yeah.
Is that it does feel so antithetical to what makes us who we are. It's like what separates us, right? Like obviously whales are better than us. We know that. Elephants are fucking better than us. We all know that. But aside from those groups, like the emotional bond, the ability to connect, the ability to support is supposed to be what separates us. So that is why it's really, really hard to make sense of some of the shit that we see going on. So it's really nice to hear those stories to remind us of all of the humanity and kindness that still is out there.
Yeah, completely agree.
Okay, so Friendy, Wendy, you've got some stats up your sleeve.
I do. As of early 2006, the national median for assisted living has hit over $6,300 a month.
That's insane.
That's wild.
And this is the real kicker, what they call the spend down trap. And this is what we're kind of going through with my mom, where you basically have to spend your entire life savings until you have less than $2,000 in assets left. And only then, once you've spent everything and drained everything, will
The government
kick in. to help.
What?
Yeah. So that's why we're seeing a lot of people pivot to these golden girl models and intentional co-living.
A point of rage that is coming up for me and listening to that is, why is everything like, you have to be at destitute to get any kind of support or help?
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, you're not sick enough to go into hospice where you can actually get more funding. Like, oh, it's you got to get down to $2,000 before you get any help. Like,
It's ridiculous.
what the fuck is this?
That's interesting that you said that, because it's a perfect segue into our cunt of the week.
Ooh.
All right, let's go. Our cunt of the
A
week
week.
stands for courageous,
Unapologetic.
notorious, tenable woman slash man,
whatever.
they, them, animal, tree, plant.
Bookcase. I just say whatever I actually see in that moment.
Okay, so since we're talking about caregiving in America, we need to talk about someone who understood 100 years ago that care is not a personal failure. It's a policy decision. Her name is Frances Perkins. She was the first woman ever to serve in the U.S. presidential cabinet, working as Secretary of Labor under Franklin Delano Roosevelt from 1933 to 45. And modern America is still coasting on her work. Before Frances Perkins, workers had no guaranteed minimum wage, no cap on work hours, no child labor protections, no unemployment insurance, and no Social Security.
She really switched that shit around.
Because
She
of her,
did.
because of Frances Perkins, all of that changed. She believed the government's job was to protect people from absolute economic freefall, not just protect corporations from inconvenience. So now we're going to run her through. C for courageous. In 1911, Frances Perkins witnessed the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire, in which 146 workers, mostly immigrant women, died. And
Jesus.
the doors were locked during the day when they were working because the bosses wanted to control their movement, so nobody was unionizing. They didn't want anybody to be taking extra breaks. So what happened when the fire broke out, there was no way for these women to get out. And people were jumping to their deaths. And
Damn.
Frances
God.
Perkins saw this.
Holy
Oh,
She
shit.
witnessed
God.
this. It traumatized her and it radicalized her. She spent her life fighting unsafe
That's
working
amazing.
conditions, even as male lawmakers dismissed her as emotional and hysterical. She's unapologetic. When FDR asked her to be the Secretary of Labor, she said she'd take the job only if he committed to Social Security, minimum wage, 40-hour work week, and unemployment insurance.
Okay, girl.
Notorious.
Only note, we could have gone with 30.
Yeah, totally.
Small note, Frances, you're fucking amazing, but we could have gone
We
with 30.
could have
Yeah.
gone with 30. I absolutely agree with that.
Totally.
Notorious. Conservatives hated her. Business leaders
We love
called her
her.
a socialist, a communist, and dangerous to capitalism.
Oh,
At one
boy.
point, Congress literally tried to impeach her for protecting immigrant workers.
Oh my, I mean, talk about the dovetail to today.
Oh my
And
God.
then
She
10 of them-
totally.
10 of a woman. She was the first woman in the cabinet, longest serving labor secretary in U.S. history. She built systems that support millions of Americans nearly a century later. And she chose policy over popularity every single time.
I love that.
So that is our cunt of the week,
She's amazing.
Frances Perkins.
It's so funny. I just want to when they're like trying to impeach her because of the immigrant thing. I'm like, I don't understand. The one thing I'll say, and I'll say it quick, I don't understand how people in America are like, build a wall, keep them out. And I'm like, I hope that you don't get to go into any restaurant, any gas station that is owned and operated by an immigrant.
Yeah.
Literally, I hope what you don't understand and get through up here. I don't understand how you don't realize that America is run.
It's
on
run.
the fucking legs of immigrants. Run by it.
Yep. There's also a reason why farms stopped getting immigration raids, because Trump was like, oh shit, the farmers are getting pissed because they're losing all of their workforce.
Mhm.
And I love all of the like Mexican restaurant owners that are like, nope, you don't get to come here, ICE officers. You don't get to eat our fucking food and
Exactly.
take in our culture and then kill our people.
Thank you.
Take our people and hurt our people.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Like, thanks to Francis for like setting that off and standing up to being like, I'll be impeached. Like, you can come for me, but like, look at what she did.
I mean, look at that.
Women get shit done.
Yeah, and look at that fucking factory.
Totally.
Jesus. Oh my God. I mean,
Wild.
that doesn't tell you a story right there about what's going on right now.
I know, right? Isn't it funny how it's like what she is bringing up was so long ago, and I'm like, we're still dealing with that shit. You know, at the end, people have good in them. Hopefully, the good people be like, we got to bring the good back, because as you guys know, I'm living in the West Wing right now. I have to do it. The West Wing shows me that the government can be good, and so if you're feeling a little bit down about it, and Erica said, well, there's one of two ways. And then I'll end it and I'll give it to you and then we can end this. She said, well, there's one of two things. You could watch West Wing and it could make you feel better. You could feel better. And she's like, but it might make you sad because it's so far away from it. That's not reality. And I was like, girl, I know, but I'm real good at pretending. So if you are too, get up on it. What were you going to say, Wend?
Is that what you're going to call your joy this week?
Yeah, West Winging it. And I taught myself how to crochet because I felt
that's amazing.
Bad just watching West Wing on my couch because I feel weird that
where's my fucking sweater?
Yeah, where is our stuff?
Well, guys, I'm telling you right now, I knitted. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
I want mine to say "fuck ICE" too. Can you
God,
make that happen?
See, I feel like that's complicated. I could barely get a square that was like like a proper square.
Yeah.
It's like it's a little curved in, and like I should watch a video, but I don't watch. I don't want to stare at the video. I want to listen to the West Wing and just do my thing.
Yeah.
So right now, what I think I can do for you guys is we can scarf it up.
Great.
And maybe
We
a
get
baby
scarves.
beanie, like maybe a toddler beanie.
I could maybe do that because I think the way that you do it is you just put the things together and you find a seam, and apparently it's easy. So maybe we can do that too.
Maybe that's easier is what I was thinking.
Oh, you're right. That might be
maybe I'm
easier.
wrong. I don't know.
Well, that's my joy. What's your joy? I mean, this week was kind of hard.
This was a hard week.
It was a really hard week.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a really nice compound hang
The good, yeah.
yesterday, and that's always a joyful experience. Like
Totally.
it, to your earlier point about like Golden Girls, like, Wendy and I are neighbors, and we have this really incredible situation where we're all like legitimately friends and we have each other's back. So whether it's like, okay, we have a get together and like, okay, I'm going to bring the salad. I'm going to bring the wine. I'm going to bring the, oh, we'll make tacos. Oh, I can't make it that time. All right. Well, can you do Friday? Like we just figure it out as a group.
Yeah.
And it's like, we never pay for cat sitting because we all watch each other's cats. Like, so that's like a constant, source of joy for
I love
me.
that.
So,
That's a good one.
yeah.
What about you, Wend?
I would say the compound hang last night for sure, and getting to see you guys today. I feel like it's been a minute since the three of us were like together in person.
Pluribus.
Pluribus.
There she is.
Oh, boy.
Positive
All right.
vibes.
Well,
Take us out.
Yeah, don't forget to support us on Patreon. So patreon.com/theragepod. That is how you can keep us on the air, honestly. Whatever you can give is great. If you give a like, a comment, subscribe on YouTube. If you click that bell on the YouTube, then you'll be notified of the videos that are out and coming, and we try to get them to you as often as we can. You can also message us on Instagram or also on TikTok. Love you guys. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the
Thanks,
next one.
everybody.